Hey y'all, I got a word for you. This one's a little different, a little bit of me being transparent with you. I just made a post about 30 minutes ago that said, you never know what someone is going through, the oil cost. And me making that post, I was speaking it out in general because I know a lot of people are going through a lot right now. With losing loved ones, it's the holidays, different circumstances, and I know that a lot of people can relate to it. So I'm also speaking to myself because I'm also going through it. The oil that's on my life cost. And it's wearing a lot of days. As you can see from looking at my face, I have been going through it today. But we got to keep going, right? We got to keep going. We got people that need us. We got people that's dependent on us, what's on our life, right? But what about you? What about me? What about those of us that pour and pour and pour, and then we're left naked? We're left empty. Nobody's pouring into us. There's nobody praying for us. They got what they needed, and we did our job. We did the assignment that God had called us to. But once we then poured and poured and poured, who's pouring into us? And I'm not just talking about God's people. I'm talking about just anybody, not strangers, anybody who's pouring into us. Because we need that. We're going through on a day-to-day. We have prophetic impressions. We have spiritual warfare. We're feeling other people and what they're going through it on top of what we're going through. And while we're praying for them and we're pouring into them, and who's really pouring into us? I know we got God. The God also places man. He places some people here for us as well, right? And a lot of times we feel empty. We feel alone. We cry in the dark, then come out and shine in the light like everything's okay. Because they expect for us to be strong. Because we're preaching. Because we are ministering. We're pouring. We're coaching. We're doing these things on a day-to-day basis. But people don't understand what goes on behind the scenes. Nobody really understands or wants to take the time to understand what we have to go through, what we have to deal with. Nobody really understands. Nobody's taking the time to want to understand because we're all so caught up in our own stuff. But not realizing that people in ministry, people that God has called and put in position to pour into other people, we carry a lot on our back. And it becomes overwhelming a lot of times. But don't nobody care about that. Because every Sunday they're looking for us to give a word. Every other day they're looking for you to make an encouraging post. For you to give them something. But who's giving to you? Who's giving to us? And I had to be transparent because it's so much that we deal with. We deal with things in our marriages. We deal with things with our children. We deal with situations that we battle. Some of us are also battling demons ourselves that we have to fight on top of helping others. And it's tough. A lot of times it's tough. But we have to keep going. That's why I push myself. But sometimes I push myself to the point where I'm exhausted, I'm drained. And some days I just disappear from social media because I need a break. Some days I disappear from talking to people because I want to close out the noise. Because I mentally, spiritually, emotionally, and physically need a break. Because I have to allow God to recharge me. How many of you go through every day and just pray for just that one person that just asks you, are you okay? Even if it's not one in particular person. Just look at your phone. Or just go through the motions throughout your day to see if someone's going to check on you. And unfortunately, some days they don't because they expect you to be the strong one that got it all together. You know it all. You love the Lord. So I know that you are fine. You're going to be fine. That's the reason why I say check on your strong spiritual beings. Because we out here going through it. Life and for us too. Make sure you're checking on someone. Make sure that you're out here. Make sure everybody else is okay too. Because we all are going through it. It doesn't matter the titles. It doesn't matter your position. It doesn't matter what you have. Every last one of us are going through something. And it's okay to stop what you're doing for the day to check on someone. Let that be your good deed for the day. Just because we all smiling, just because we're all continuing to press through, does not mean that we're not going through. Does not mean that we don't need an encouraging word. I remember somebody asked me, how do I stay encouraged in my faith? And I couldn't even give them an answer because some days I don't feel encouraged. I don't feel encouraged enough to even encourage somebody else. Some days I sit down and don't even feel like praying, if I could be honest. Some days I sit down and don't want to be bothered. But nobody really knows that because I click this camera and I do what I got to do for the Lord and I get off. That's why some days I don't post. Because some days I don't feel like I can encourage somebody if I don't feel encouraged. And I just got to be real. I made this post to let you guys know, well, this video, to let you guys know that we all are going through it. The oil that's on our life cost. Whatever God calls you to do, it cost. And I'm going through it. And I need to make this post to let other people know that it's okay that you're going through it. It's okay that sometimes you're not okay. It's okay to not be okay sometimes. And sometimes I'm not okay. Even though I get on here and encourage you, even though you might see me out laughing, some days I'm not okay. And we program ourselves to make it feel like it's okay to put on a front. And I'm not doing that anymore. If the Lord leads me to get on here to give you a word, and I got to be transparent, I might sit on here, cry most of the time and talk. That's okay. I'm being my authentic, real, raw, transparent self. So I'm letting you know that it's okay to not be okay sometimes because the oil that's on you cost. But that don't mean give up. You still got to go. But it's okay to have a moment. And today was my moment. Listen, I love y'all. And I just had to come and give y'all a quick, not really quick, but a word. Something authentic because a lot of people are not being that in these days. I love y'all. Keep pressing, keep pushing. But know that it's okay to have a moment. But don't stay stuck in it. Now that's some tea from G.O.D.